I want everybody to think about what I'm going to say and really think about it before you start commenting down below. Okay? Al Golden, yes, I'm going to say this. Al Golden is not 100% of our problem. No. Al Golden is part of the problem. And I'll tell you why in just a second. This is very frustrating. But hey. Yes, we've lost 7 out of the last 12 games. Yes, he makes excuses. Yes, to everything you guys say. But sit down and think. What type of benefit will he get if he comes out and says, our defense sucks? None whatsoever. It's a lose-lose situation. The guy knows. I'm telling you, I could see it in him. He knows our defensive coordinator, Mark D'Onofrio, is not doing a good job. He knows it. Every time they ask him about the defense and all that stuff, he deters from that, avoids the question, and turns it into our offense. But he has mentioned we can't get off the field on third down a lot of times. And a lot of that falls on the coach, Mark D'Onofrio. He has used the excuse, Mark D'Onofrio has used the excuse of lack of execution. But I think the real term is lack of execution by Mark D'Onofrio himself. Anyways, let's look at our offense. Okay, I really sincerely do believe, and everybody should think about this because it's just this is something so special. Okay, go look at the stats on our receiving core. Okay, we don't get the ball very often. But when we do, these are some of the stats. Philip Dorsett is averaging about 30-something yards per catch. He leads our team in receptions and in yards. He stretches the field. Hey, Braxton Berrios averages the first down per catch. Clyde Walford averages the first down per catch. And so does Herb Waters. So with all that being said, why are we so bad? Duke Johnson, hey, he's averaging 6 yards per carry. 5.8, I believe, for Joseph Yearby. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Gus Edwards averaging 5 point something. By the way, I'm mentioning this on Thursday, the 9th of October. Okay, so please check the date of the video before you bash me or whatever. Our offense, in my eyes, could be one of the best offenses in the country. We don't get the ball very often. So obviously, what type of pressure do you think is on James Coley? What do you think goes to James Coley's head? Our offense our defense isn't very good. So I have to take home runs. I have to score as quickly as I can, or I have to score on limited amount of possessions. We're not going to get the ball very often because our defense ain't good. So he has to be creative, and that's why you see all these play calls, okay, to get Duke Johnson out of space and all that stuff, because we need to score almost on every possession to win because our defense ain't making stops. Yes, it's offense and defense, but Brad Kaya, for example, completes about 62% of his passes, throwing 13 touchdowns but 9 interceptions. He's a freshman. Interceptions and mistakes are going to happen. The University of Miami is a very high-profile, high-pressure position to come in as a freshman and play the way he's played. I think he's done it, a remarkable job. And the way he carries the team and leads the team, I think it's exceptional. So he's not the problem. Yes, he's made some costly mistakes on late in games and stuff like that, but how can you blame those things on him? Why can't everybody see the truth? If we're always playing catch up, you're setting yourself up to lose. You're setting yourself in a bad situation. You want to be in a good situation. And in order to be in a good situation, your defense has to be good. So, defense is our problem, guys. All the great teams. Think of all the great teams Miami's had. 2001, 2003, all the championship teams, you name it. Going back from the 1980s and whatever. All the good teams that Miami's had. National championship teams. We all had great defense. So, if people are going to sit there and say Al Golden's 100% of the problem, I disagree with you. I think he's part of the problem. But you guys really need to think, you know. For the 4 years that I have dealt with Mark D'Onofrio, ever since the first year I was like, man, our defense is terrible. But years went on, and I was like, it's the same every year. So many questionable play calls and dialing up the blitzes and not blitzing in situations. It's like, this guy is so predictable. I mean, anybody could know what he's calling on third, second, and first down. And we can't get off the freaking field on 3rd and 15 if we can't stop him on a fake punt, which is fundamentals. If in the Georgia Tech game, we couldn't even get the pitch man. I mean, it answers for itself. 4 years of the same thing. Don't you think that's enough evidence that the guy either has no clue of what he's doing or the scheme ain't right? But the scheme has changed almost every year. So everybody think, do you think it's healthy for Al Golden to come out and say our defense is our problem? We will lose the whole locker room, and this season we will lose all the games. I still think we're in the ACC race because, heck, Duke started out 0-2 in the ACC last year, and they went up, you know, to make it to the ACC Coast championship. So, is our chances very slim? Yes, they're very slim, but the chances is still there. Are we going to win or do any of that with the defense we're playing? No. But I think that I've had enough of this, and I got to let everybody know, stop it with the Fire Al Golden making. I'm not going to donate a dime to that Fire Al Golden. Now, if you told me, oh, I am making, and I promise you this, I am making a campaign to fly a banner that says Fire Mark D'Onofrio, I will donate money. Okay? I will donate money for that. But not Al Golden. I know it starts from the top to the bottom, but y'all need to realize he ain't 100% of the problem. Okay? If at the end of the year, okay, Al Golden takes care of this situation, I promise you by next year, you might not want to hear this, but I promise you we're going to be a team. Okay? Maybe not national championship, national contention, because we're not there yet, but we'll be a much better team. Okay, without Mark D'Onofrio. Everybody's opinion will be much better than this year. That's just what I think. Even though Al Golden's record is kind of similar to what Randy Shannon did, he has almost the same qualities that Randy Shannon had. You know, Randy Shannon was a good defensive coordinator, but he just couldn't gel all the talent together, and so be it. But, you know, I mean, there's so many coaches out there. There's a guy in the NFL that I wish could be. He had ties to the U before. He goes by the name of Wesley McGriiff. He's out there with the Saints, improved their defense so well, developed Kenny Vaccaro. Wesley McGriiff, the Saints secondary coach. Give him a call. I mean, he's a good option. There's so many options out there. Lionel, Washinton. Everybody, look him up. These are great defensive coaches or defensive prospects that can coach our defense. I mean, if you want to go as far as head coach, I'll go ahead and say Kyle Whittingham, the Utah Utes head coach. 7-1 in bowl games. Wins 60-something% of his games. Guy wins big games too. Anyways, that's about wraps it up. That's up all the time that I have because I gotta wake up for work tomorrow. Yeah. So everybody, there's a comment section below. Comment whatever you want, whether you agree, disagree, don't like me, or like me, or whatever. Say something below. Feel free. And shout out to the UFan83. I really respect you. You're very funny. You're always smoking a cigar, drinking beer, throwing a beer can at the camera. Every time we lose or every time we win, whatever, but mainly when we lose, I look forward to your videos just simply because it makes me drift away from all the negativity that I just saw on TV. Oh, one last thing. I don't know if y'all find this funny, but I think I spend more time watching commercials throughout the game than I do see our offense out on the field. Anyways, thank you for watching. Go Canes. And let's hope we can beat the Cincinnati team.